This is an orthokeratology case where the patient started with a refraction of about -5 sphere, and there was a concern about the appearance of the return zone. In the 1 month post-dispense maps, definitely see some irregularity in the left eye, but 2 months after dispensing the lenses, that has settled in. And even though the aesthetics of the return zone don't necessarily look perfect, I would say they look really good to me. You're getting a very even amount of treatment through the optic zone, and you've corrected a fair amount of myopia. Even if the return zone isn't as pretty as we like it to be, I would say if the patient is seeing well, the ocular health is good, this looks like a very successful case to me. I think there is a little bit of residual myopia, and that's probably the only thing I'd change in the new set of lenses, so we can get about a half diopter more treatment for this patient and get the patient closer to plano. So I'm going to bring up the lenses, and in the right eye, the original lens was designed in freeform mode, and the left eye originally in G-SIM. And looking at the topographies, I think both of these lenses can be designed in G-SIM. And in fact, sometimes when we try to troubleshoot and make adjustments to freeform lens, it gets very, very complicated. And I can show you what I mean by that. So to get rid of the small amount of residual myopia, I would just recommend increasing the power of the lens. We have about 50 left over, so our new target is going to be about a plus 2.29, or maybe just under that. So if we click up here at the OZ, and almost there. So that's pretty close. So about 2.26, almost a half diopter more demand than the previous lens. But if you look at the tear graph, you'll see that it's got a funny shape to it now. And this happens pretty often in freeform mode when we try to adjust the lens. So the only way to really get rid of that is to go into 25% mode and then start changing the position of the OZ and the IC. For example, we bring the IC down a little bit. Oh, that helps a little bit. And then now it's pretty much back to normal. But if we go to the next meridian, we see that it's happened again. So it's a lot of manually trial and error with the two control points. And if the lens doesn't have to be in freeform mode, it's probably easier to do this in G-SIM. So what I'm going to do is actually start a new lens for this patient's right eye. And we'll just run it through a new design. So you're using an 11.6 diameter, which I think is great. And the two control points are set to 6.2 and 6.8. So I'm going to go into configuration settings and just pull up my default myopic setting. I'll change this to 6.2. Change this one to 6.8. You have thickness of 0.23, 0.30. Our target lens power is going to be around 2.3, so we'll choose 2.25. G-SIM mode axial, and the overall diameter is going to be 11.6. Okay, so we'll let the computer design this lens. And we're set. So we've got an 11.6 diameter lens. Our target was 2.29, so we're a little bit short. I am going to increase that a little bit in 100% mode, and that's pretty good. So if you go all the way around, we're pretty close to 2.29 in all meridians. and that's the goal. The tear layer is even in all the meridians. Now if we come to the left eye that was originally in GSIM, I'm not going to redesign this one because oftentimes we can change it without getting the funny kinks into the graph. So starting at 1.84, our new target is going to be 2.34. And all I'm going to do is click up here in 100% mode until we're right around that target. And that's pretty good. I'm going to go into 25% mode and just go to the different meridians. We can see we've overshot a little bit here, so I'm going to bring that down. Bring this one down. And this is just a little bit of manual touch-up. Most of the time in GSIM, you will not get the funny curve put into the graph. All we're doing is adjusting the power in the different meridians. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty close. So I haven't really changed much to the lenses, just increasing the demand and keeping it uniform. Even if the appearance of the return zone doesn't improve too much over time, I really wouldn't worry about it. If the patient's seeing well and the eye is healthy, I think the patient will still be very pleased, and hopefully you will be too. So I hope this helps with your patient. Best of luck, and thanks for watching.